So you're itching for something good to play this year? I get that. And you want it to be free to play. Well, you actually just came to the right place, as we've got a bunch of recommendations for new games for this year. This is a top 10 strictly that covers free online games, which have been released in 2016. And we're talking about the betas, too. You may also spot a couple games that are yet to be released later this year, though, if everything goes according to plan. Remember, 2016 games only. So keep that in mind before talking about Lost Ark or Pyria Chronicles in the comments, okay? Hero Wars was quite successful in Korea, and this is something telling, as many games usually launch to shut down or be completely forgotten in a year or so. This new anime action RPG deserves some respect because it's actually a very fun game. If fighting and looting in an isometric Diablo-style point of view is your idea of fun, the characters, while some of them are obvious stereotypes, are actually designed in a cool way and offer plenty of crazy abilities to use. There's the lolly, of course, as well as a bunch of overly sexualized girls, but if you're not into eye candy, you'll still get to pick from some decent ones as well. Scheduled to enter beta late October, Gwent, the Witcher card game, is probably the one of many CCGs that we wait for with higher levels of excitement. Why? Do you even have to ask? It's CD Projekt, dude. The Polish studio is known for releasing only top quality games that are worth every penny and probably more, while at the same time treating players in a way that very few studios do, respecting their feedback, offering plenty of downloadable content for free, and flipping the finger at DRM protection, and just being creative, independent, and totally awesome. So while Gwent expands on the surprisingly popular card game found in The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, it includes 3 Rows, a single-player adventure, cross-platform between PC and Xbox One, and hopefully the most reasonable card purchasing options to ever be seen in CCG. In another note, CD Projekt's Cyberpunk 2077 will surely kick so much ass. Sometimes you have the habit of going, duh. Like, why don't they release this game already? Well, Tree of Savior, that's why. In other words, the developers need their time to create a great game, and a lot of that time has to be spent on things such as polish, testing, and going through a lot of crazy bug hunts. Then there's not always predictable server ability to handle all those players, and that's why Tree of Savior even stopped accepting new players for a few weeks. Anyways, we should probably cut some slack on the Tree of Savior peoples, as this is one hell of a game which is marred down by some technical issues that will hopefully end with time. It's not a game for casuals, so you should actually read a bit about how to approach it before playing. Then you'll be able to explore the impressive backgrounds, battle the ingenious bosses, and spend countless hours in a game that has a lot to offer, but also a lot of rough edges. A diamond in the rough, if there was one. One of 2 new MOBAs from NCSoft. Master X Master was the chosen one to come to the West, leaving Hyperuniverse in the Eastern market. Can't say it was a bad decision, as Master X Master is way more than a mere MOBA. It's a great action RPG, plenty of PvE content, and some masters taken from popular NCSoft franchises, including Guild Wars 2, Ion, Blade and Soul, Lineage, and WildStar, among others. It's fun, fast-paced, that looks pretty good in a day and age where most MOBAs look bland, cloned, and it's bound to please a lot of players. Probably one of the sleeper hits at the end of this year. A surprise announcement late last year, Paragon is the 3rd free-to-play game from Epic Games, with Fortnite and Unreal Tournament being the other 2. Clearly a studio that believes in its work and takes the time that it needs before releasing them to gamers everywhere. Paragon is one of the very few third-person MOBAs and offers all heroes for free, so everyone is on the even playing field right from the start. With new heroes promised every 3 weeks and a roster that is becoming both large and diverse, there should be plenty to choose from by the end of this year. It also helps that it's one of the most stunning games that you are going to see, thanks to the Unreal Engine 4, but also to the mastery of the team regarding its own engine. Now, while Paragon may be slower paced when compared to other popular MOBAs and still definitely needs some tweaks to make it the big hit that it deserves to be, it's one of the big names of this year, even if you're not the greatest fan of the genre. Mu Legend is a long-awaited follow-up to the classic MMORPG Mu Online, and while it definitely took its time, this is shaping up to be one of the best Diablo-inspired hack-and-slash games out there, maybe even capable of becoming a nice alternative to the free-to-play reference of the genre, Path of Exile. Featuring 4 classes at launch and a decidedly more diverse game world than what that somewhat bleak and gloomy teasers may lead you to believe, Mu Legend is clearly a game that has a lot going for it. It's fast, not as much of a grind as other games in the genre, at least judging by the Korean beta, and if you like wings, then you can get some wings too. If you're into that sort of thing, of course. Mu Legend's global beta begins fall 2016, so it shouldn't be long now. Riders of Icarus, it's already out there, getting regular expansions, giving fans more mounts to capture and places to explore. This one is the game that Dragon's Prophet probably should have been, and while it may all sound kind of a bit similar and familiar, it's really a polished game, and occasionally a real looker. If you like your MMOs with a touch of Pokemon fever, only in this case it's just mounts, then Riders of Icarus could be the game for you. The solid aerial combat is what really rounds up the whole experience and makes it a good game. Unreal Tournament is coming back and is in fact already playable, as Epic Games is taking a remarkable approach to development, opening it up to players who want to contribute with their feedback and help in other ways, including designing weapons and maps. It looks more than capable of capturing the thrills of the original shooter with the tech of today, and even the business model could mean a revolution to free-to-play games everywhere. There's the usual shop, but players get to create their content and earn a share of what their mods make. It's not entirely new, Second Life, for example, does it, but why it isn't used more often, we don't know. A classic shooter coming back, and with the possibility of making some money, what's not to like? Smite has made Hi-Rez Studios a filthy amount of money, or at least so we think. It was totally deserved though, as they had the guts to try and make a third-person MOBA when everybody and their moms was trying to copy League of Legends. Hi-Rez also took its time to improve Smite and make it big, and they're clearly doing the same with Paladins, champions of the realm, thankfully. Patch after patch after patch brings more improvements, changes new characters, and a refined gameplay that may look like a poor man's Overwatch, but it's way more than that. Let's face it, there are only a handful of studios in the world with the resources and talent that Blizzard possesses, and still, Paladins has a lot going for it. It's fun, colorful, fast-paced, free, and fairly different from all the other shooters out there. This one is gonna be big. Now, it may be too soon to give the top position to Revelation Online, seeing that it will only actually enter closed beta during the fall, but based on what we've played from the original Chinese version, we are able to say that it does deserve your attention. It's not like Revelation is a complete revolution or anything, but it really is a damn fine MMORPG in the same line of Blade and Soul, if you like your martial arts MMOs. It looks good, even great sometimes, and combat offers 3 different options so that everyone will be able to pick their favorite, although we really don't know why nowadays someone would prefer tab target instead of non-target action combat, but whatever. Don't go into this game expecting something completely groundbreaking, and you're probably going to enjoy it a lot. It's the big free-to-play MMO RPG of the end of this year, and hopefully it will become even better when it officially launches in 2017. That's it. But that's not all. We scratched our heads quite a little bit considering some other games, and we just have to leave these suggestions out there, okay? We'll start with the cool vehicle combat game Crossout, which is definitely one to play. Then we have Adventure Quest 3D, the lighthearted and fun sequel to Adventure Quest Worlds. Evolve Stage 2 is also a great shooter, but we didn't include it here because it's not really from 2016, if you know what we mean. Although this year it did go free to play. Twin Saga, the new anime MMORPG from the makers of Aura Kingdom and Dragamon Hunter. Dreadnought and Fractured Space are two awesome sci-fi MOBA-ish kind of games with top production values. And finally, to keep with the sci-fi theme, the classic EVE Online is actually getting a free-to-play mode this November, which should open the game to even more players. We could suggest to you even more games, but if you've been following our website and YouTube channel, you should know about a couple more that suit your taste. Any big names that were released this year, in your opinion? Let us know in the comments, and until next time.